Warriors are so far up the table, and of course, as creators, we need in on that information. So, who best to have an interview with other than the captain himself, Wilfred Komakech Akera? How you doing? How you feeling?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Just a correction. My name is Akera Komakech.
It's A plus B plus C is equal to C plus B plus A.
Actually, it makes more sense when it is Akera Komakech.
No wonder you're captain. Lugez is an extreme. But that aside, you are captain of a team that I think has shocked very many. Shocked very many because they aren't in the Warriors setup. So, picking from where Warriors were last season and where you are right now, how do you say you've changed the setting, the whole setup?
The whole setup has changed up because of one thing. It all comes down to hard work and organization. If you look at the Warriors team playing today and the Warriors team that played last season, there are very little differences. It is almost the same team, just a few individuals in there. So it all came down to organization. I think I'd say we were not as organized as we were this season, last season.
And about the unbeaten run this season?
It's wonderful, though it is not a surprise, because that's what we're working for. So it is not a surprise. We work for every game, and we work hard towards the achievement of our goals. Actually, at Warriors, there's something we do every week. We set a goal, and for the past 4 games, our goal has been to win, so it's not a surprise to me.
You're talking about working for things here and there, which is going to bring me to my next question here. Ideally, players work for their coaches, right? Yes. And I would say you're now working for Coach Ivan Mahmoud. Yet not so long ago you were playing against him. How do you feel working for I would say a man who last season you would flow on the rugby pitch?
Actually, looking at Kevin Mahmoud as the coach, is one, I respect him. He's a very wonderful man on and off the pitch. So working for him is very, very easy. Actually, it is one of the easiest things that is happening in my life. He's a very respectful man. So if I'm to say that it is very wonderful working with him.
Yes. Should we attribute this new change at Warriors to the new money that's coming from, I can see there's DusuPay at the front, there's Velocity, this side. Should you attribute the change to new money?
Actually, money is one of them, but the bigger picture is not money. You understand? Money is one of them, but the bigger picture is the psyche from the boys that want to win. You understand? With or without money, if you have the heart and the urge to win, you will always win. So I don't think it is a money issue as such.
Are you trying to say that last season there was no urge because there reached a time when we actually thought Warriors were going down to the championship?
Actually, what happened last season was there's a little bit of disorganization here and there, you understand, with the team and with the management as well. For instance, an example of the disorganization is during last season we had people arriving 5 minutes before the game, you understand, because maybe everyone was busy. But now people arrive 2-3 hours before the game, so you can see that kind of organization. Yeah, that's where we're heading now.
As Akera Komakech, which game have you enjoyed the most in this new setup of DusuPay, Velocity and Warriors?
I think the game I've enjoyed most is the Mongas game in Entebbe.
The comeback game?
Yeah, it was a very, very physical game. It had been a while since I felt that kind of pain in my life. Yeah, it's very wonderful. And you know, being a rugby player, every weekend without pain is not a weekend. So those weekends where you feel some pain, look at yourself with some bruises, those are the games we live to count.
I don't want to be like you when I grow up. But I'm still talking about these games. After beating the Rhinos, then the Mongas, people are actually counting Warriors as title contenders. But we would all argue that the last 4 fixtures of the first round are going to be what we would call a little harsh, because you're playing Buffaloes, after which there's Pirates, then there's Cobs, and there's Hiddens, one after another. How do you see the team coping against these 4 top, quick sides?
I think we're going to do the same thing. The same way we have won our games that everyone thinks are a joke. You understand? Actually, just to be clear on this, there's no team in the Super 8 or Super 10 now that is a joke. You understand? Every team is there for a reason, and every team has the same capabilities as the other. So you terming our last 4 games as harsh and brutal, I don't think is a right statement, because it's just rugby we play. You understand? If you're to term our last 4 games as harsh and brutal, why are you leaving out the Rhinos, who were 3rd last season? You understand?
2nd, actually.
Yes, who were 2nd last season. So, you see, it is just rugby we play. You understand? Every game requires its own preparations. You understand? The same way we prepared for Rhinos, we may even prepare better for Cobs. So I don't think they are very, very harsh, as you say. It's just rugby. They don't run in the air. They run on the ground like us. You understand? Yes, they tackle their shoulders as well. So it's just the same game. We just need to prepare for it as it is.
I have been at the training sessions of Warriors quite a number of times, and if I recall correctly, the TM said that the game they're looking forward to the most, or what they would call a derby for Warriors, is the Cobs game. Do you share in this ideology?
Actually, to me, every game is a derby. You understand? Every game is a final. That's why we have been able to win the 4 games. We play every game like a final. I don't think singling out Cobs as a derby would work for me as a person. You understand? I look at every team the same way. You understand? And I play against every team the same way. Just because there are teams that I put more effort to. If I'm working at 100 against Rams, against Cobs or Highlands, I'd work at around 140, 150. Not because it is a derby as such, but because they require more work. So what term as a derby is all our 18 games are derbies to us.
You were talking about preparation and organization, and of course now this stems from just beyond rugby. There are things you do before rugby, things you do after rugby. So now this is where I come to ask, when you're not playing rugby on, let's say, Saturday or Friday, or when you're not in training, what is Akera putting his time to?
Akera Komakech outside rugby is an entrepreneur. I run over 8-9 companies.
Some on your money?
I'll give you some.
Okay.
I'm a lawyer as well.
Huh.
So I do lots of things with my life. I have a personal life. I have a niece that I play with. I have friends outside rugby. So I have a life outside rugby that is actually, if not bigger than rugby, then at the same level.
When you say personal life and you start with niece, I think you're taking me for a joke. Because I was expecting, I have a baby on the way, I have already a son.
Being straight. Being straight means at one point I'll have a baby. And when I get one, I'll let you know one.
And so there is a better half of Komakech Akera?
Yes, that could be one.
You can look in the cameras and send even greetings, it's okay.
No, it's
the airtime is on Kratos.
Actually, it is not necessary because she's so precious. I don't think TV and the rest are as important.
I think she's quite lucky because you're talking about her with the same passion that you're describing the Warriors.
Yeah.
But okay, after the 18 games of this season, where do you think the Warriors will be?
After the 18 games of this season, probably, I believe we can win the title. Though if we don't win the title, I'll still be happy for the team that wins the title, because rugby is a contact sport, and it is a very hard sport for you to emerge victors. At the end of the day, it starts with just the game, then the whole league. So I'd be happy for anyone who would win the title, though I have strong belief that we are going to win it.
I think I'd almost forgotten this, but now I have to ask. Do you see yourself playing for the national team?
Yeah, a lot. A lot. I've been at the national team before.
Yes.
So I don't think it is going to be a hard thing to get back there. I just need to work on a few areas. of concern with the coaches, then I'm up to go.
Because reason why I brought up national team is the past month of November, we ran a poll as creators of the best team throughout November, and I say you swept there's a number in the second row that you swept so bad that you had 90% of the votes on all platforms of social media. The rest was scampering for the 10%, and I think people are now actually starting to realize what Akera Komakech does. How do you feel about people who are voting for you as their best player in the second row?
Actually, I feel very happy and proud, and all the credit goes back to the coaches. My rugby career has had very many coaches. It has had Kevin McMott. Actually, Kevin McMott taught me how to play rugby. It has had David Otwi, who's a player as well. At one point, he was my coach in school. It has had the incredible Robert Seguya. He has shaped me a lot. It had a friend of mine who has also been my coach, who has taught me a lot, Gabriel Aredo. He teaches me rugby on and off the pitch. I'm very happy with him and very proud of him. And very many people, there are very many people in rugby who have taught me a lot. So if I'm up there today, I'm very happy for myself, but most importantly, I'm happy I make them in my life.
I should say it's been amazing to have you here talking to you, and of course for you sparing your time. And there's one last thing I would like from you before we end this. Do you say that we need more investment in rugby, because now there's money in Pirates, there's money in Warriors as far as we know, there's money in Rams now, and I think teams are performing better. So as a bye-bye, probably whoever is watching this interview and would want to invest in the game, what would you tell them?
Actually, rugby is just a part of life. You understand? If you understand the economics of life, you know money makes everything work out. You understand? So money is as important to rugby as the players themselves. You understand? Because at the end of the day, every team has to meet its logistics. You understand? You have to run around, buy water, buy tape, give the players allowances and transport. Motivation plays the game. You understand? The world has moved so fast from an era where you just had to play because of the passion. You understand? Rugby is becoming a profession. You understand? If you look at the Kenyans playing rugby for profession, if you look at the Ugandans who were in Kenya, you understand? The reason that's why they left Uganda to go and play in Kenya is because
there's more money.
It's paying. You understand? So I think for a league to be more competitive, there has to be money in the league. People have to get paid to put their bodies on the line. You understand? Because when you look at rugby is not like pool table. You understand? You're putting your body on the line. At the end of the day, you have to go and see the doctors. And you cannot see the doctors without money. So money is so important in every sport. You understand? And it is most important in
rugby. In case you missed it, Captain Akera made sure that whenever I was pressing a point, he asked me if I understand. So I have understood, and I hope you who is watching this interview have understood as well, because it's been a pleasure having him here. And I don't know why, but I'm very happy for Warriors and Beaten Run, and I hope you keep it going.
Thank you.
And
actually, we are not on top by surprise. We are not having any pressure because we have worked towards getting there. So if in case you have any feelings or we have any pressure, we don't have any. Our goal was to get there, and we have achieved it. And our next goal is to maintain and stay there. And I pray we achieve it. But we're only going to achieve it through hard work and working as a team, which we are doing every day. So we are very comfortable, actually. I know there are words going around, oh, they're up there, they're scared, they don't know how it feels like. We actually know how it feels like, because we have been up there during our training sessions. You understand? We have been #1 during our training sessions. So
there's an angle to that as well.
So it is not a surprise. We are very comfortable up there, and we are going to stay there. It's not actually cold up there. It's very cold up there.
Woo! That was Captain Akera Komakech with very, very solid words for whoever is doubting the Warriors and the intention this weekend. They are here for business, not to play around, not to play games. But if you have anything to ask, Twitter, it's Kratos Africa, just mention us, ask whatever you want. Go to Facebook, we are there as well. Of course, very many photos of this interview running on Instagram, the site is always up with the videos, the blog is always running with articles on Warriors and every other person and team playing rugby in Uganda. But for keeping it creators, thank you very much. We appreciate you.